Today I'm out here and making a bunch of little plant videos for you guys here out in the prairies in Canada. And while I was doing that on this beautiful night out here in the nature, I started thinking. And while I was thinking, I got this feeling maybe to talk to you about something which is actually, or like, it is really important and it changed my life. What is that? So it actually is the bushcraft and reenactment of old native techniques and living conditions around the 1800s when the frontiersmen were in this land together with the natives. And it changed my life because when I started doing this, before I came to Canada, I was a person focusing on money, focusing on making lots of money, and I had a lot of ambitions and wanted to grow a business and all those things, right? I did. So don't get me wrong, I did all those things. But then I got this hobby to go out in the nature, and the more I spend out in the nature, the more my worldview changed. The more I learned from the natives, the more I learned from like the animals and the weather and the in general the world out here, which is quite a different world than 50 miles down there in the city. Like, please excuse me, English is not my native language. I try to get it over in a way that you maybe understand what I mean. So maybe the best way to explain it is like that. Imagine two people, yeah? One person born like 20 years ago, and one person born here in the prairies in North America 200-300 years ago. Okay? So those two people, they both were born naked. They came to this world and they've been, so to speak, on zero in their mind. They didn't know anything yet, and they didn't had any opinions yet. They couldn't even speak yet. Okay? So the person born like 20 years ago, like I said, was born, and then in the first few 2-3 years of his life, he got like 30 injections from vaccines he never needs, because the government said it's good for him. Okay? And then he goes on with his life. If he doesn't die on sudden child death or something, then he goes on and he goes to kindergarten, right? So he goes to kindergarten because his parents can't take care of him. They need to work. So let me settle down here. I think the ticks calmed down a little. 1 second, I set the camera that you can actually see me better. Okay, maybe that is better. So that person goes to kindergarten because his parents can't take care of him. They need to work. And the government said it's good for him, right? And then he goes on with his life and he goes to school. And then he gets to school, and in school he sits with all the other children 8 hours a day in a room, and he gets told about a history that didn't happen like they say. He gets told about things, about science and the world, which may be not true. He gets indoctrinated with political views. He gets told about things like, dangerous scenarios, like when he's 50, like the earth is inhabitable because CO2 is killing everything. And, all those things he's getting told. And again, the government says it's good for him to know this, right? And then he goes on in his life, and then he becomes a young man, or a young woman, or a young it, because what happens is he gets confused in school. He gets distracted and made, what is the word? Like not uncomfortable, but yeah, maybe uncomfortable in his body, and they try to distract him and tell him he is maybe another gender than he actually is. And then he's confused, and then he might changes into the wrong path just because other people told him so. And again, the government says like it's good for him, right? And then he goes on in his life, maybe as a woman, maybe as a man, and starts to work. And then he works 8 hours a day, maybe more, and he doesn't make enough money to buy food, have a living, and he just gets by, right? And then one day, maybe in the future right now, it's not too far off, I guess, he maybe gets conscripted into a war he doesn't want to be in. And he's just a person and doesn't know better. And then he maybe dies in the war, or he survives it, and then he will die an old man, and he never truly experienced life. So now on the other side, you have that person born 200-300 years ago here in the prairies. Maybe was a native boy from the Plains Cree, maybe, right? So he got born here somewhere in a teepee. He was naked. And in his first 3 years, he didn't get never any shots. He drank water out of the river, right? He ate meat. He even ate raw meat in some cases, right? From the intestines, from the animals. He never had any allergies and ADHD or whatever that name is for this, you know what I mean. So, and then he got a little older, and he was like about kindergarten age, right? But his parents didn't push him away into some child care. No, he was always with the people, maybe with the boys, maybe a little bit with the girls, maybe with the grandparents, or maybe with the elders. And he learned things constantly. But he learned things he needed to understand and know to survive and to live. And yeah, so he grew older, and then he became school age, right? And then in that age, he would have learned from his dad, from his siblings, from his brothers, from his uncles, from other people in the tribe, how to make things you need to survive, how to hunt, how to make a bow, which wood to use to make arrows, where to find the best flint to make the arrow tips, how to make fire. So all those things he learned. And on the side he just learned just by watching his female relatives. He learned how to tan hides, how to make baskets, how to collect certain plants when you have a sickness, how to treat yourself when you have a wound. He would go out and learn all those things, you know, and then he would become a young man. And when he is a young man, he wouldn't be confused what he is. He knew he is a young man. And then he was looking for a woman. And then he found a woman, right? And then he needed to do certain things to attract her attention. And he went out and he built maybe a flute. And then he played her a song. And then, you know, they came together and they've been a couple. And then this guy woke up in the morning, you know, on a regular day, a random day, just wakes up and he would say like, hey, today I feel like I go fishing. And then he would go and he goes fishing and he catches, like it's a really good day, you know, those days when you catch lots of fish, and he's catching like 15 fish like walleye and pike and whatnot, right? And yeah, he doesn't need to look on a piece of paper then and say, oh, I'm only allowed to take 4, right? No, he would take what the Creator gave him and he brought it back to the village and shared it with his relatives. Or he would wake up and he would say like, hey, today I feel like I go hunting. And then he went out hunting. And then he seen a deer, right? And he didn't need to check if he has a tag for a deer, right? Yeah? Like, oh shit, I just have a tag for like an elk, right? I can't shoot the deer. No, he would shoot what he would get, what the Creator gives him. And then he would take that and bring that to his tribe and share with the tribe again. He didn't want anything for it. Everybody got a piece, right? And then he grew older. And when he grew older, he was thinking like, hey, today I feel like I go over to the crow and cause a little ruckus with them, you know. And then he would do that, right? He would start fighting with them for something. And if he survived, he came back with a couple of horses or so. And the people in his tribe would appreciate that because he would give the horses to the tribe and don't keep it for himself. And yeah, so his life went on. He would get children with his wife together. And then those children he would take care of, right? He would teach them all the things he got taught. He would feed them good food. He would show them where to find good water and good plants to eat. He would tell them about respect, humility, love, about truth and honesty and courage, right? And wisdom. All those things. And those children of his would learn that. And there comes the guy here, I know. So he would learn those things. So he would teach this to his little children there. Yeah. And then one day he would get old. And then his children would come, his relatives, and they would take care of him. Because now he is a man who cannot hunt no more, cannot gather food no more, and they was just do the same and bring him food and help him, and they don't want anything for it. While the other person who was born 20 years ago is sitting there old in a retirement home or care home, and people from other countries, he not even knows or understands the language, they take care of him. While his children can't do it because they're working. Or he never had children because he got told that's better for you by the government, right? So what I want to say with that is like, look how our world has become. Just compare those two people and you tell me who of those two people lived a better and a way more free life. Which one is it? Is it the one 20 years ago born, or is it the one born 200 years ago as a savage, they say, right? Well, for me that's clear. I guarantee the person 200 years ago had a way better life, right? And the thing is this, like imagine you're a native here and then the white people come and they say like, hey you, right? What about you do our system now of how to live on earth? And they would have said like, oh, what is it, what do you do, right? And they would say like, hey, you know, you come and you work for us 8 hours a day, maybe longer, right? You know, 7 days a week, and then you know, you give us some of your money, right, you make, but a little bit you can keep, and with that money you can buy whatever you want, right? That's way better, right? So now you think, like every native must have thought like, well, what a stupid deal is that, huh? That's like going and working and getting some stuff for it, they call money, and then you work 8 hours, that you later have some of this money, and then you can buy the buffalo meat. You know, you could have hunted yourself. Or you get the money and you can go and you buy the arrows you could have made yourself that day. Or you know, get the money and you can get and buy fish you could have caught yourself that day. Right? That must have been really traumatizing to the natives, I guess. Like when the white people came around with a fucking stupid system like that. And we all live in this system. And before I did this too. But now, doing my research about native living, my research about nature, and my research about this beautiful world here, and this valley I go into here, and with all the animals and all those, the beautiful things we actually have on Earth. And I bet like 98% of the people out there, including some of you, you not even realize what we have here actually. And I realize for myself that this world out here is the way we are supposed to live. Here's no stress. Here's no greed. Here's just the law of nature, right? Be careful and try to survive. Know the things you need. Use them in a manner that you don't overharvest, that you don't kill too much, that you only take what you need. And that way, the big circle can continue. While in the other world, they're 50 miles away, in the big city, where I work every day, where I make things for people, sometimes not even get paid, because, they just decide not to. And then you need to go to court and you have stress and all this bullshit, because you need to get this money, and you just need to get this money because you didn't have the time to do the things yourself because you were working. So you need to go and buy food instead of going out and getting it yourself. Right? You need to pay for water instead of going out and getting it yourself. You need to pay for warmth instead of going out, cutting some trees and have your own warmth. That is what I mean when I say bushcraft, survival and reenactment changed my worldviews. Because this world, with all the technology out there, means less and less and less to me. Yeah, of course I post my videos on YouTube and the technology and blah blah blah, right? I not even use a real camera here for all my videos. I just have an extra old cell phone I bought. It's not even connected to the internet. So we people, we need to get our lives back. We need to stop following those people from the government. All those people which have the powers in the governments of those worlds here, this world, I mean, of all those governments, they in fact are all people which have no skills. They have nothing. They have nothing. They're just puppets of a few other ones which have more money. And they try to get us all under one umbrella and make a new world order, they say. Yeah. Maybe I lose some followers now, but guys, it is really like that. Like, they want to do that. And you will become just a number. You will be not a human no more. The little freedom we still have, they will take too. in order to get more money for them and control us. And if we don't fight them, then we will never be free again, like 200 years ago. Not even close to that, not even 10% of that. They will tax you for everything they can, and they will make your life miserable. And they start already doing it. And today, with this IT thing happening in the world, you probably heard about, that was for me just a test to see how far they can go with us already and how fast they can accelerate things. And the funny thing is, this IT thing didn't affect me at all today. Not at all, right? And why not? Because I don't have stock markets. I don't fly around in the world every day because I think I have to. No, I had no problems with the bank, right? Most of the stuff I do, even like in person. I don't do online banking. If I can avoid it, I avoid it. My customers pay me usually a check or cash because I don't do e-transfer. No. Why should I? No, no, no. I'm a free person. And I hope in the future I can become even more free. The more pace this world out there picks up right now, the more I made it my motto to slow down. I just slow down, I'm stubborn. And I will not go along with whatever they come up with in the future. You can count on that. So, yeah. Yeah, that was it. That was a little out of the ordinary video, but I wanted to put it out there. Not like to, you know, cry and whine about it or whatever. More like to open maybe the one or the other eyes of you guys out there, that you maybe think about such things as well and resist. So leave me a comment and let me know how you think about those things. And I think I see you in the next video then. Have a good one wherever you are, and don't be fooled by the government. They always say it's good for you, but it's never good for you, it's always good for them. Remember that. The loon, guys. That was a loon.